Hi everybody, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface, and I'm looking for that special somebody in my life. No, not you. It's actually this green inferno right here. Oh, that was nasty, especially coming up to Valentine's Day. Oh, Az, you naughty boy. Because this is the mob which is going to start the green fire quest chain for Warlocks, and it's literally just slightly to the east of the Shadowpan garrison in Town Long Steps. You engage it in combat, you just blow it down. It's very easy to kill, and it drops a specific item. Now, this is the item that starts everything off. What you do is you combine it with a health stone, and that will create the quest item where you can actually fully start the quest chain. I will stress though, when you do create this tome, make sure you're not very high up and you are on somewhere probably a little bit flatter than I'm on, because when it completes it will blow you back. So you could find yourself flying off some sort of object and landing on the floor down below, getting yourself killed. Not nice. So that starts the quest off, and we have to start talking to our pets, which is pretty cool. We very, very rarely communicate with our pets, and we have to learn a couple of things out. So I've got the Void Lord out. I'm going to speak to him first of all. Him, her, it. We don't know the sex of it really, do we? It's just generic. And after you've got the info from one, summon a second pet, because the first pet that you spoke to will not carry on the information. So get a second pet out, and that will complete the quest itself. From there on in, you've got to go to one of the Warlock trainers in the capital city. So I'm a member of the Alliance, so I'm going to head off to Stormwind. Obviously, if you're a member of the Horde, you might want to set off to Orgrimmar. So quickly, onto the Stormwind-ville. So I'm running down now, and there's a group of Warlocks in here. Which one am I going to be speaking to? The one at the back. Okay. So what's going to happen now is we're just going to get a little bit of lore. I'm going to complete this quest, and then they want me to read a book. Yeah, sterling stuff. But now, I know a lot of you say, why can't you, when you do lore bits, as just stop the video or just hush up or just get lost, let us do the reading, and then you can come back and do the commentary later. Well, the fact is, I try and keep the videos flowing as best as possible. So I'm going to read the book. I'm going to slightly speed things up, though, when I do read it. I think it's behind me somewhere. There it is. And if you do want to read all the aspects of the lore, just pause the video. That's all you have to do. Just pause the video, have a read of the page, and then you can just move it on a bit, pause the next page, because I think all in all there's about 5 or so pages in this. But the general gist of the fact is we start finding out about this Warlock who's trying to go on an epic quest, I don't know, to find some jelly bellies or something like that. And it's going to take him off to Outland. And that's the little hook that we've got. So after we've spoken to our Warlock trainer in the main city, we're going to head off to the Outland. And to me, that's awesome. Because first of all, Burning Crusade was the very first expansion that I got. So it's always got a very special place in my heart. And secondly, remember, the Burning Legion was just rampant with demons. I mean, I think that's what made the Burning Crusade that a little bit more special for me. Probably in as much as the same way that Paladins probably view Wrath of the Lich King, because everything was virtually undead. You were just critting everything that moved, including Forsaken. And that's when I was Hordy, and Forsaken wasn't a fun time for me. But here we are in Hellfire Peninsula, and we're going to now start to look for fragments of this Soul Stone. And it's a nice little bit of a quest here. It's something completely different. You'll see on my mini-map in the top right-hand corner, this whole blue area. This Soul Stone can be anywhere in this area, and it's a vast, vast amount. But we've got little indicators. When we have the when we get closer to the Soul Stone, it's sort of like, what's it called? Marco Polo? I don't know. I'm British. I don't know these cracked little things. And it will say cold and then warm, and then if you're hot, it's in that vicinity. And that's where I found the first fragment. If you want to know exactly where I am, some little hints as I spin around. Did you see on a hold? If you didn't, tut. So that's the first part. We're going to head over to Shadow Moon Valley for the second part. And this ended up being in the Altar of Damnation. If you don't know where the Altar of Damnation is, shame on you. I'm not. The next couple I'll bring up the map because they're a little bit ambiguous, but those two places are pretty prominent. Now we've got a member of the Horde. I wouldn't, would I? No, because they're clearly AFK, and that would just be nasty. So I'm going to pick up the bit of the Soul Stone and just casually leave them alone to get on with their business. Oh, look at that, my pet attacked it. I didn't do anything. And now because my pet's attacked it, I've got to support my brethren, haven't I? I've got to dot it up. That would just be nasty. What a nasty, nasty Horde Warlock to make my pet hit him. Unbelievable. Is he still AFK? I don't even think he's come back. I think when he gets back to his... he's just going to find his dead body on the floor. Now, can I just stress... I don't normally do this. I just knew that I was filming and couldn't resist it for the purposes of the video. And I'll tell you why I don't normally do this, because I never PvP in Affliction, always destruction. Big crits. So that's the first part, the second part done. The third part, I am going to bring up the map because it's snuck away in the very northeast of Blade Edge Mountains, and we have this area here which looks like some sort of summoning circle, and there's also a little bit of dialogue going on between this. So when I pick up the fragment, there we are on the map, just going to shut my pie hole for a couple of moments, and then you can actually go through the little bit of the storyline and find out what's going on. So I'll be back in a moment, don't worry, chaps and chapesses. Ooh, poor Doomguard. But there you go. Nice little bit of lore for you chaps and chapesses there. As we move on to the very final part of the fragment. Now don't worry if you get within the blue zone and you can't see cold, warm or hot. You do have to get within a certain vicinity of the Soul Shard fragment, the Soul Stone fragment, to actually activate it. There are plenty of places within the area that is blue on your minimap that you'll just get nothing at all. Nothing whatsoever. And there's the final piece on the floor. So I'm just going to snap all that up. And in doing so, we now get another little bit of storyline. So again, just going to shut me pie hole. That's where I am on the map. And I'll let you enjoy this next little bit of lore, next little bit of mini in-game cutscene. And I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so there's another bit of storyline all done and dusted. Let's just complete that quest and move on to the next part, which is actually going to take us to the Black Temple. And this is very, very interesting indeed. This is where things in the quest line suddenly get very serious, because at the Black Temple, we're going to engage ourselves in a single player, Warlock only scenario. Nobody can help you. Nobody can hear you scream. And sadly, I can't bring you all of this scenario, and I think it's got something to do possibly with the fact that I'm exalted with the Ashtongue verdict, because when I decided to enter this scenario, and a lot of people just start at stage 1, it actually zapped me instantly back to the final stage. To the very final stage to actually tackle the end boss. But I do know some of the stages. I know stage 1 involves you trying to sneak past the Ashtongue. The best way that I've seen so far to do that from talking with other people is to actually use a glyphed Eye of Kilrog, and then you can drop a demonic circle past the guards and then zap to it and then move on to the next lot. I don't think demonic gateways work for some reason, which is, you know, I think a little bit off. Hopefully it's just a bug, because I find it really annoying when Blizzard give you a main ability, because remember that was our 87 ability, and then you can't use it in circumstances which would be the best opportunity to use it. Oh no, you can't use your demonic gateway because that's actually good for this bit. Duh, doesn't make any sense. So fingers crossed it's just a bug. And then I know that there's another stage where, very much like that single player scenario brought to you a little while ago, you go running around trying to loot as many boxes as possible, but there are ads attacking you, and there are elites, and there are bosses, and you're up against the clock, and you've got to get to the end within a certain amount of time. But at the minute on the PTR, the ads are literally spawning back seconds after you've killed them, and it's causing massive problems. Oh! But all in all, I do think this scenario, from what I've seen of the boss anyway, is very much overtuned. And if you thought, as a Warlock, any Warlocks out there, it's going to be really easy to get a hold of your green flame if you do manage to get the quest item, you might be in tears after you've seen this final boss fight. Because I'm going to tell you now, I don't kill him. I don't even get close to. Now, I'm not showing my best attempts, I'm just showing some attempts, which I did on the boss. And I'm just going to try and run through some of the tactics that you'll possibly need. But even knowing the tactics doesn't remotely guarantee success. Now, this is the very first time that I attempted this boss. And I thought, okay, he's not really attacking me, he's just sort of dissing me out. And I thought it was going to be a bit of a cakewalk fight, and suddenly things got turned on its head. That massive demon gets summoned into the fight. If you can survive long enough against that, and I've got my Void Lord out, then you start summoning in 60 fell imps. 60! Not all at once, they come filtering in, but they do get very high numbers. And they hit you each for about 2k very quickly. So suddenly, if you've got 20 of them hitting you for 2k, that's 40k, 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 literally. So it's just absolutely battering the damage on you. So what's the best way to mitigate damage from a huge demon? Well, enslave it. So I enslaved the demon and then sent it back onto the boss. It's certainly a lot more powerful than mine, and that definitely seemed to be the right tactic, because now I've got 3 nice abilities at my disposal. I've got an interrupt, I've got a big AoE, which I can then use, of course, on that big pack of imps, and also a massive heal, which will heal me up virtually completely. But it's all situational, because although this Cataclysm looks interruptible, it wasn't. I couldn't interrupt it at all. So, splat. So I had to again adjust my tactics. I'm going to control the demon once more, enslave it. I'm going to try and use the interrupt purely for the cataclysms, but it also starts firing chaos bolts. And if you've managed to maybe hit a cooldown or get debuff on you, because the boss is just absolutely dotting you up with nasty debuffs all over the place, that chaos bolt will probably do about 95% damage of your health. If you are dotted up, or you do have the debuff on you, it'll just kill you. So a good way to try and avoid the chaos bolt is to maybe drop a demonic circle behind one of those 2 stone towers, one to my left there, one over there in the top left hand corner, and then when it starts to cast it, zap there, break the line of sight. It should stop the cast of the chaos bolt. So there's a couple of little bits of tactic for you, but it's not easy. It's really not easy, because after we get from this phase, I suddenly then got a load of fell hunters coming in, 4 of them in fact. And the fell hunters devoured the magic off of my enslaved demon. So suddenly that started charging at me again. And then you lose control of what the boss is doing because you've got all the imps attacking you, you've got that big demon attacking you, you've got the fell things attacking you. It throws chaos bolts at you, it's dotting you up. It's just absolutely horrific in its current format. And I've only seen a couple of Warlocks be able to do this. And I can easily say quite happily much better ones than me. But I hope you enjoyed this vid. Please do like, comment and subscribe to my channel. I'm logging off because I need to cry. And I'll be back later. Take care. Bye bye.